Oh, God, not again. All right.
God damn it, Morty.
Welcome to the Chappers Sports Podcast. My name is Kastle. And with me are Catman and Chappers. Oh, my God, I think I'm going to leave that fuck up perfect. In there.
Yeah,
that was amazing. Yeah. Wow, I don't know where to go from there other than let's just jump right into it with the Browns 0-16 update. Chappers, please take it away.
Well, your favorite Cleveland Browns were on a bye this week, but fear not, for there are always interesting Browns updates lurking in the shadows. And this one might actually threaten the Browns' 0-16 hopes, and that is Josh Gordon has been conditionally reinstated.
And he's eligible to play first week of December, correct?
I believe that is correct.
That is the December 3rd game against the Chargers, if I read the story earlier today correctly.
Yes, it is.
And you know what? Josh Gordon, we said this before, Josh Gordon came here to do two things. Smoke weed and smoke DBs. Apparently he also smoked other shit, because apparently he was just doing all the drugs.
He did all the drugs.
So, like, his purpose was
and then
to,
Baylor hid all the drugs.
Yeah.
Well, he
Baylor
would...
shady as fuck.
And then, but, like, he would also do all the drugs and then go and roast people on the field while on the drugs / hungover.
Right? Can you imagine, like, if he
sober?
was fucked up in every single game and he still was, like, beating the shit out of everybody?
Yeah.
That, like, how good he's going to be sober? He's still 26. He's in the prime of his career.
Right.
And he might be in the best shape of his life if he's actually sober.
If he's actually been.
Like he is.
Right.
Like, he's actually, like, you know, it's totally different than when he was playing before.
Right.
And he kind of was dodgy about it. Like,
right.
He's come totally clean. I think
Yeah.
He actually is clean.
He did. Yeah.
So, that would be an interesting development if the Browns decide to. Sounds like they're going to stick with him. He's all out of weed. He's going to start smoking some DVs.
I mean, they're going to miss A.J. McCarron not throwing him the ball, but other than that...
Jesus.
The league not allowing that to happen was the best thing that was like an early Christmas present from the NFL. The Browns just don't know it yet.
Right.
Oh, guys, we do have to update that story, though. So last week, after we did the 0-16 update, put out the episode, it came to light that the Browns did by not sending their offer sheet with matching terms, terms matching the Bengals sheet.
Right.
And it's
so
all
it was
because...
wrong and late.
Is wrong and late, and it was because the dude that was supposed to send it had his assistant send it to the Bengals, and then that guy never got it, so he just wrote the terms on his own, and yeah, so they just fucked it all up.
Jesus Christ. Now then. How? These people are paid to do a job. They're literally paid a lot of money to write grown men's names on a piece of paper and then submit them somewhere.
Yeah.
And it's not like a whole thing. It's like 3 people's names.
And the Bengals, I want to say it's their operations manager, was like, yeah, even if I would have gotten that sheet of paper from the guy, he was supposed to fax it to me, and I didn't even check my email until the next day.
Oh, my God. They don't even know what a fax machine is inside that fucking stadium.
Actually, I think they would.
Because they're behind, because no one actually faxes things anymore.
Yeah, I'm with Chappers on that one.
That's fair.
All right, so 0-16 update. The Browns lost to the bye week, but they did get Josh Gordon out of it.
Yeah, that's true. I think that might be the best bye week ever, unless you think that 0-16 is good for the Browns, in which case it's not, because
he might actually. Well, you have to keep in mind he still has I don't know what the fuck throwing him the football.
Right.
He's got a Deshaun Kaiser throwing him the football.
Okay.
Right, but he made other quarterbacks that were mediocre look really fucking good.
Right.
Yeah, because, all you have to do is just throw it. Just throw it in a general direction. He'll go grab it.
Right.
I mean, Brian Hoyer was a career backup until he met Josh Gordon.
And then he got signed by the 49ers and then released.
And then the
Right.
Patriots picked him up.
Because they realized unless he's throwing the ball to Josh Gordon, he's not that good.
See, and my dream scenario would have been that he got reinstated before the trade deadline.
He's got the best job in football, Brian Hoyer.
Yeah, he does. He got reinstated before the trade deadline, got traded from the Browns to the Patriots, and then Flash Gordon was out to play.
Why would you want him to go to the Patriots?
I think he could win a Super Bowl for them, not even with them, for them.
But why would you want that?
Because I want to see Josh Gordon succeed.
Yeah, just not there.
Who doesn't?
That
I would prefer to see him smoke drugs and succeed, but if he has to do without the drugs, I'll still watch.
Right.
Because it makes it so much cooler now that he was all fucked up and still destroyed people.
Like, way cooler that he was, like, tripping on acid. And,
Yeah.
you know,
Or, like, hungover. Like, I can't even walk to the couch when I'm hungover. And he
Right.
put on football pads and then ran like a 4.2 40 and caught a football.
yes.
God, must be nice. What happened in my life that I can't do that?
You did not win the genetic lottery. That's what happened. Yeah.
you also didn't end up in a rehab facility, so
He must have established
Josh
the tolerance
Gordon
of
won.
a small elephant.
Josh Gordon won, Catman won.
Yeah, that's
True.
fair.
I imagine
Still
his
time.
tolerance is enough.
Still time. For me to
lawyers
get to a
can-
rehab facility.
Lawyers
I thought you
concerned
meant
for
to
lawyers.
submit your tape to the NFL.
Oh, God.
I have I still have a screw in my hand, so we're done. Any hopes I had, it's gone.
Yep, the screw is what did it.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm going to bank on.
All right. You could still go to rehab, by the way. Lawyers.
That's what I
concerned
said.
Lawyers.
Yeah. I meant there was still time for rehab. I didn't mean there was still time for the NFL.
Sorry, I got distracted there for a second.
That's okay.
So let's move on. It's been, at least a fortnight since we talked about NASCAR. So let's talk some NASCAR real quick.
Let's talk some NASCAR. Eric Almirola is going to be driving that number 10 car,
And Bubba Wallace is going to be driving that number 43 car,
and Danica's out of a job.
as well as Kenseth.
Yeah.
Chappers, how do you feel about your driver losing his whip?
I don't care. It's NASCAR. I'm over it, guys.
He's so upset. He's so salty.
Yeah, I don't
And
know.
he
why
doesn't
he's
have
so
the
salty.
Packers to look forward to, so he's upset.
Yeah, I have to apologize to Rayo. I remember Rayo saying before Rodgers got injured, he's like, yeah, the Packers are basically the Cleveland Browns without Rodgers. And I'm like, oh, come on. We got some talent on defense. We're going to, we have decent offensive line, solid receivers. Wouldn't be great without him, but, we're not the Cleveland Browns. I stand corrected. We're basically the Cleveland Browns without Rodgers.
Is it safe to say that Aaron Rodgers has been hiding a incompetent front office and coaching staff? Yeah.
Not front office, but team.
Okay.
Certainly a defense. Actually, certainly, yeah, a lot of stuff. That defense is a problem.
I mean, here the thing is, part of it is just fit, right? So, with on the offensive side of the ball, I mean, the receivers aren't bad by any means, but the way that they play, they need a guy to put the ball in a certain spot. They're possession receivers, so they don't really create space on their own.
Right.
Right.
You see a lot of these, from the Kyle Shanahan offenses of last year, the Josh McDaniels offenses, where they run a lot of crossing routes and they have a lot of quick twitch guys that just end up wide open with no one near them.
Mm-hmm.
The Packers don't really have that. That doesn't mean they're bad receivers. It's just a different system, and the system kind of relies on your quarterback being ridiculous.
Right. Okay. NASCAR.
Aaron Rodgers for MVP, by the way.
That's fair. That's like the year LeBron left Cleveland or Peyton Manning didn't play for the Colts. They both should have won MVP. Okay.
Exactly.
LeBron might have anyway, but he was, yeah. Okay, so,
Jesus.
NASCAR.
I tried to get you guys off topic.
Sorry.
Yeah, I knew what you were doing there, by the way.
Where are we this week?
We're at Phoenix.
Oh, that's not great.
No.
Because Kevin Harvick's already in.
And he might win again.
Yeah, I'd really like Brad to do well.
Can we just briefly discuss the fact that Bubba Wallace is driving the 43 and he will be the first, the first African-American driver full-time in the Cup Series in like 40 years.
Right.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
That's pretty awesome. But yeah, I think that's cool.
I'm fully anticipating a backlash from some of their fans.
Come on.
Really?
I mean,
I have no idea. I don't really know what to expect out of humanity anymore, so I can't even venture a guess. I'm going to be honest.
That is true. We've seen some crazy shit in this last year, so I guess, yeah, I shouldn't doubt that it's going to happen, but I'd like to think it wouldn't.
Yeah. So we have Truex, Kyle Busch, and Harvick all advancing for sure, and then we have Brad, Denny, and Blaney all within 22 points of each other, with Brad in the lead, like holding the 4th spot right now. Finished top 5 at Phoenix in March.
And that's where stage points are going to play a huge part in the race this weekend, where if Brad wins the first stage, he separates himself enough that he just has to finish the race, I believe.
I'm worried about like other JGR Toyotas fucking it up for him, though, so that
like
can get in.
Like intentionally fucking it up?
I don't know. Sometimes you're the bat and sometimes you're the ball. I mean, like, who's to say if it's intentional or not? We're in the playoffs. Like, I don't fucking know.
That is very true.
Like, at this point, I can't say I don't think it wouldn't be intentional.
Yeah.
That could be 3 out of 4 Toyotas in the championship.
That would be nuts.
Be pretty crazy.
Yeah, and I feel so bad for Jimmy Johnson searching for 8. He just didn't show up this year. Like, his Superman
he went down
cape
like
is gone.
3 laps to start last week.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, his Superman cape is gone. But I don't say he's gone forever. I mean, he is Jimmy Johnson.
I will say this. What was most impressive to me the entire playoffs, and I'm not just saying this because it was Brad. Brad lost a tire to start the race on Sunday.
Yeah, because Kyle Busch cut it down.
Well, yeah. Kyle Busch also got damaged, though. But yeah. So he went down 2 laps to start the race. Or no, 3 laps, I think.
Yeah.
And ended up top 5, which is fucking nuts.
I mean, put himself in a really good position to be lucky dog, like every time the caution flag came out.
And him and Paul Wolfe, I'm actually pretty determined that him and Paul Wolfe are the best crew chief driver combo in NASCAR. I'm not saying that Brad's the most talented. I just think strategy-wise, they like do it right like every time.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, let's move on. Let's get to this NFL action before Chappers, shoots himself or something.
I think he already did, and I
or
thought
like
I might.
Half our listeners shoot themselves.
Oh, go fuck yourself.
God, you are just. Ohio State got their ass kicked. I'm okay.
Yeah, dude, come on.
We lost to Iowa. If I could find enough corn husks to make a noose, I would have.
That's actually a very true statement. I don't know where to find a corn husk anymore. The Mexican grocer, maybe?
Like, literally. And I was watching that with Senior. It was awful. It was not a good place to be for my mental health.
Question. After I cut you down from the corn husk noose, can I use the corn husk to make tamales?
Tamales? Absolutely.
Yeah. All right,
they would
cool.
be, yeah.
I will serve them at your wake.
They wouldn't be vegan.
That's fine.
Why were we concerned about that?
I don't know. I was just making a joke because I'm a human meat bag.
Thanks.
So they would have meat.
All right, so NFL action. We had all the fights this weekend. Did anybody catch all of them?
Yeah.
They just kept happening, and Scott Hansen was just like, and we've got another fight.
And we've got... He went from being Scott Hansen to Joe Rogan for the day.
He definitely put his best Joe Rogan impression on. I definitely woke up on Monday morning, and there was a Reddit post with like all the fights like posted, and all I could think was, God, this feels like a post like big UFC event on our MMA.
Yeah, seriously.
You know what I think it is? I think it's these, and I'm gonna keep being salty here. It's these fucking celebrations. They let these guys just run wild and do all their stupid fucking celebrations that are, just fucking stupid to watch, and I can't believe they're actually, practicing this shit. And then, all shit breaks loose. This is what we get. We don't have any order in the NFL anymore.
All right, Bob McNair, tell us about how the inmates are running the asylum here.
I didn't say that. That's not my word. Those aren't my words.
Okay. Old man Chappers apparently just doesn't like to have fun anymore.
God damn fucking celebrations.
Yeah, okay.
I'm kidding. I agree with you. Like, we don't need to have a
stupid.
tea party, and they're just riling people up.
I picture old man Chappers sitting on a porch with a stick, and he's shaking it at a leaf that fell in his yard because he's just that unhappy with fun.
I also
it's not
think
fun though. It's stupid.
I also think a lot of it is like, okay, so can we just like before we break down each one individually, what fights are we talking about? We have Evans and the Bucks. What else? We had
AJ Green.
Okay, so we had AJ Green again.
AJ Green totally fucked me this weekend too by getting a stupid fucking fight.
AJ Green, didn't the Panthers have one too? The Panthers and the Falcons fight or something?
Well,
I'm pulling it up right now.
I don't know.
So let's see if my theory holds. But
All right, so
go ahead.
Hold on. Jalen Ramsey and AJ Green got into it.
Yeah, so that's
a few hours later.
Bengals and Jags, right?
Yep.
And we're really
Bengals and
shocked
Jags.
that the Bengals were one of the teams that were fighting.
And then Carlos Hyde got into it with Hassan Reddick and Frosty Rucker.
Okay.
And then Mike Evans got into a fucking fight with Marshawn Lattimore. But nobody got ejected on that one.
Well, so here's what I would say to that. It seems like some of it, on top of just like whatever else it may be, is the fact that like some of these teams are very bad, and I think they're upset. Like, I think Mike Evans is probably pretty pissed off at where the Buccaneers are, and I don't think he's really ever happy when he steps foot on the football field anymore because his team sucks. And
he's quickly approaching like Megatron territory. Like, he's just gonna do the rest of his contract and just be like, I'm cool.
And like, I think we're getting to that point of the season where everyone's getting upset that they're not playing well, they're not getting any better, and so those people are now fighting one another.
Yeah.
And like,
well, I mean, look at it from Mike Evans' perspective, though. Like, he's been going back and forth between a floppy-armed Jameis Winston and Ryan Fitzpatrick.
can we also like, can we include
no one can
Jameis
get him the
Winston in
ball.
the fight too? Because that son of a bitch.
Dude, but hold on.
He's a fucking clown. Everyone knew that.
Yeah, he's a moron.
Nobody's pointed out the fact that Deshaun Jackson's on that Tampa Bay Bucs squad and still hasn't fought anybody.
Well,
Yeah.
if Deshaun Jackson fights somebody, it's we're not.
It's
just
expected.
Well, I was just saying, like, if Deshaun Jackson fights somebody, you're bringing a knife to a gunfight.
Right.
Right.
So,
but I'm just saying, how fucking upset is Mike Evans that he fought before Deshaun Jackson did?
I don't know. I think like Cotter's losing control of that football team.
Absolutely.
Oh, he definitely
There's a
has.
few coaches that are losing control of their
Like,
football team.
It's bad.
Dude, I said it last week, but there's a rumor floating around the Bay that the players have given up on Cotter already.
I mean,
They don't look like they're trying very hard.
Right. All right, so then we had what's his name, Carlos Hyde, get into it.
well, they're 0-8, so like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, but still, come on, dude. Like, why are you gonna take on Hassan Reddick? That's just a mismatch and a half.
I didn't see that one, so I don't know. I just saw the other two and laughed.
Yeah,
And also got
right.
really
They're
pissed.
0-8. Like,
I just think it's that time of the year where like it's people are getting frustrated. And, you know, when you're asked 7 weeks in a row, now 8 weeks in a row, hey, do you think you'll win? You think you might get that first win? Hey, do you think you'll win yet? How do you feel about Jimmy Garoppolo being here? Do you think he'll help you win? It's like, Jesus Christ, I would want to fight someone too.
Right. Well, that one, CJ, I can never pronounce his last name. How do you pronounce it, Catman?
CJ what?
Their quarterback, Bethard.
Oh, yeah, something like that, Bethard.
Yeah. So he tried to slide to avoid, getting hit.
Okay.
And Antoine Bethea just rocked his fucking world. And Hyde comes out of nowhere and just takes off after Reddick.
That's okay.
There he's protecting his quarterback.
He was, dude, but the whistles were going, and then he just kept antagonizing fucking what's his name, Reddick, and it was fun to watch, but you knew he was going to get his ass whooped if it came to that.
Yeah, the NFL is kind of in a weird spot this year.
So wait, you guys really think it's the celebrations that are driving this right now?
No, I think it's a culmination of things.
Yeah, because I think it adds to the whole, when the other team scores a touchdown and starts doing that shit, it just adds to the angst when, you're watching people play, fucking Duck, Duck, Goose or having a tea party, and it's just, that's so, it's annoying to watch for people who, aren't on the other side of it. If I was on the other side of it, I'd be like, I want to beat the shit out of those guys.
I agree. I don't know.
Did we have any other big things go on in the NFL this weekend other than the Giants?
Josh Gordon.
The Giants suck really big.
Teddy Bridgewater got activated. Bradford got put on the IR.
Yeah, is he gonna get another knee surgery, or is he done, or what's the deal with that?
Okay, so the most recent article I read literally said they did a scope and nothing's wrong. So I don't know.
Well, when he tried to play in that one game, it didn't look like nothing was wrong.
So I don't know. There's no joint or structural damage. The inflammation is causing him chronic pain. Okay, so this is a problem he's gonna have to deal with for the rest of his life. I don't think that it's ever going to go away because he's had, 3 reconstructive knee surgeries, 2?
Yeah. No, the 3.
I mean, of course, it sucks, but, I mean...
So, essentially, they're just going to, let him rest and then...
I don't even think they're playing football with Sam Bradford in mind. Even if they make it to the postseason, I don't think that they're planning on Sam Bradford being their quarterback.
Well, not this year, obviously, but...
Well, he'll be a free agent. He's going to be a free agent after this year.
Dude, they're not going to re-sign him.
Yeah. I don't think they re-sign him.
If you got a healthy...
Not for that price tag, at least.
Catman face.
What? No, that was my arm. Sorry, that was my arm. It was my arm.
All right. Yeah, but I mean, if you got a healthy Teddy Two Gloves and Case Keenum backing it up, why are you even gonna?
Yeah, I don't know that any of those 3 at this point are any different than the other because at this point, I think you ride out Case Keenum. I don't see why you don't, but realistically, he's on a job. He's on a job interview right now too. He's trying to show teams that might be going through a period of transition next year. And getting a young quarterback that maybe he wants to start a couple games or play for a season while their young quarterback, learns. I realistically don't know what the Vikings are going to do at quarterback after this year because we don't even know that Teddy Bridgewater's any good.
It's true. He's been out of the game for a while now.
He's not. I guarantee you he's not in football shape. And even if he is in football shape, we don't know what he actually can do. That 3rd year was supposed to be his year, right? And then he blew out his knee, so we don't know. Unless he did a bunch of curls while he was sitting there on the couch getting his knee fixed. I don't know how good he's actually even going to be.
Yeah, and he relied a lot on his mobility, and I with a knee injury that severe, I don't know if he still has that.
Right.
So let's move off the Vikings for a second.
Yeah, that's all I wanted to say. I don't have anything else to say.
I want to point something out here. The Giants are really bad, right?
They're horrifically bad.
They're awful. McAdoo's going to get fired.
I do want to point out that Sam Darnold has already announced that he might not go to the NFL this year, and by might not, he's heavily leaning to not going to the NFL.
Oh my God, that's
horrible
like
year.
the best thing that ever happened to the Browns, and by best, I mean most depressing. I mean,
yeah, seriously.
Right in line.
Here's a leak from the Giants today. Giants looking closely at Sam Darnold, top quarterback prospect. No, this dude already said he doesn't want to come to the NFL this year because he doesn't want to go play for a team like the Giants or the Browns.
Well, then he didn't have a very good year.
To me, that means the Giants don't believe him then when he says he's going back to school.
Dude, if I'm Sam Darnold, I'd double down and say, fuck you, I'm not coming to your squad.
But you're assuming that when he comes out next year that it's not going to be the same situation, which it will be. Like, that's what you get. If you're that fucking good coming out of college, you're going to have to play for a shitty team because that's how the draft system works. That's why the Packers have a shit roster. They've been drafting at the end of the first round every year for the last 8 years.
Let's see the big board here. I'm curious.
What's the big board?
I'm looking at quarterbacks for the draft. Just trying to see who else. I know Darnold and Rosen.
I mean,
Josh Rosen. Wyoming's Josh Allen. This guy is someone I've heard I feel like his name's been being thrown around a lot more.
Yeah, he's considered. He and Darnold are considered the two dream prospects.
I mean, are we in another Carson Wentz situation where just because he's playing for a shitty school in a shitty division doesn't mean he's not good?
Right. Essentially, they look at what he can when you're trying to figure out where to peg somebody in the draft, you're not looking at what they've done. You're looking at what they can do. So it's harder to tell what somebody's got when they're not playing as high level of competition, but you can see the throws that they're making, and you can see the size and strength and ability, and you can see that they can make all these throws, and they're athletic, and they progress through their reads, and that's what they saw with Carson Wentz, and that's why he flew up draft boards.
Right.
And they're seeing the same shit with Jake Allen. It's not necessarily because he goes to a nobody school. It's because he happens to have the skill set that they're looking for, and he's happens to be in a not such a big program.
All right, thank you for Roethlisbergering that explanation. I understood that, but I mean, fuck, man, come. Are we really gonna go after another one of these? Say he fucks this up and he's not as good as everyone thinks he is. That's gonna ruin the small school talent, isn't it?
No, I mean, it's a case-by-case basis.
Yeah, it's a crapshoot anyway.
Yeah, you
have to know that.
It's a crystal ball business. You're trying to figure out what you got. And sometimes you get that from a big school, and sometimes you get it from a small school.
And I heard sometimes you're the bat and sometimes you're the ball, but I'm just saying
true.
Words now. Catman, did you forget about Mason Rudolph as well?
No, I mean, there's Luke Falk, Mason Rudolph, and Baker Mayfield, rounding out the top 6. I don't really know that. I don't know. Fine.
Okay. I think Mason's actually a decent quarterback. Whether or not his skill translates to the NFL remains to be seen. Right?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's some guys that if they pan out, they could do they could be a solid quarterback. It's going to be who pans out.
I would love to see Mason Rudolph go not have a career in Cleveland at the end of the day.
Yeah. I don't think if the Browns had the first pick, they would take Mason Rudolph.
If the Browns are smart, they would grab Saquon Barkley if he's still on the board.
No, what is wrong with you? Okay, you got me.
Yeah.
No, but I've heard people seriously say that.
Seriously?
That's why I reacted.
That's asinine.
Yes, I've heard people seriously talk about the Browns should take Saquon Barkley. I'm like, you want a guy with a 6-year shelf life?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's no Zeke,
Sorry.
that's for sure.
I sucked you in so hard there.
No, but you did. But I've heard that before from people who said it seriously, and it's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Just go home. You're drunk.
Go home, Josh Gordon. You're not drunk anymore, but if you were, that's what I would say.
All right, so Chappers, you are the figurative GM for the Cleveland Browns. Who are you looking at?
I'm still looking at Sam Darnold. And if he stays in school, then I'm looking at Josh Allen. I mean,
okay. You're not looking for like offensive line pieces instead.
Not with the number 1 overall pick. They still don't have a quarterback. These guys are franchise quarterbacks. You've
blown your load on about 3 guys that aren't franchise quarterbacks, and one of these guys has a much higher probability of actually being that. So you may as well jump if you got the chance.
Exactly, and the thing is, they rightly took Myles Garrett, who's the best player available in the draft last year, and it was because there wasn't a good quarterback in the draft. They didn't pull a Bears and draft Mitch Trubisky or Mitchell or whatever they call him because he wasn't worthy of that pick. This year you have a couple of quarterbacks that look like they are. Now it's early in the process, but it looks like they are. So you have to do it. There's not a court. You really think Deshaun Kaiser is going to lead them to the promised land?
No.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's not a quarterback on their roster who can get the job done now. You got to get somebody. You can't win in the NFL without a quarterback.
Rumor report that Blakey B might be looking to get out of Jacksonville after the season. I mean, if you're the Browns,
don't even fucking. No. Jesus fucking Christ.
That would be like a match made in Dumpsterfire heaven.
Oh my God. Why would you even say that?
Because
that actually makes me really happy. The thought of that.
Fuck.
But all the interceptions, all the passes to the back of his offensive linemen's heads, oh, that's so Cleveland. It would be a perfect fit. I love it.
Do you guys remember when we were super bullish on Blakey B tossing darts, and then all of a sudden he just fell off?
We were bullish because he was tossing darts, and then he just stopped.
He got worse. He's been getting worse every game for the last 2 years.
I mean, do we look at this as a Gus Bradley problem and the coaching staff problem?
I don't know you can't. Maybe it might have something to do with it, but he's clearly in his own head. Maybe I don't know if he's seen a sports psychologist yet. If he hasn't, he should try it.
Maybe he should just start taking drugs.
Maybe he should.
Maybe that's the solution to everything. It's just taking drugs. Josh Gordon did it.
Kyrie
Josh
Irving,
Gordon. Yeah.
If you just
Josh Gordon did a lot of drugs.
Right.
Maybe he needs to go find a shaman and go take some ayahuasca or drop some acid in the desert or something.
Agreed.
Something to just fix himself, because he's obviously a broken person as a quarterback.
He's just, I don't know what the statistic is, but I heard how many passes he had batted down at the line of scrimmage, and it's over twice as many as the next highest quarterback. And you would expect that from a quarterback who's 5'11", someone who's undersized, but he's 6'5".
He's huge.
Yeah. He literally had a pass that he hit, he hit his offensive lineman in the helmet with the pass. And it's what are you doing? He telegraphs his throws. You can tell where he's throwing the ball from a mile away because his throwing motion's like a big league windup. And then he chucks the ball so low it hits his offensive lineman, or the defensive linemen don't even need to jump. They just kind of put their hand up and knock it down.
Right.
It's pathetic.
Agreed.
All right, last one here, and then we're going to move on to the college football playoff rankings, and we're going to talk about some shit. Jim Irsay coming out this week and saying that Andrew Luck's injury is all in his head, and as he went to the IR.
Jim Irsay,
He's a pile.
he's a piece of shit. Yeah, he should mind his fucking goddamn business and just stop owning an NFL team just so he can show up in the news like once every 2 months just being an asshole.
Once every 2 months getting a DWI?
Yeah.
Waking up naked, like, in the middle of a street or something.
Like, I don't give a shit if his injury is in his head. Like,
Why are you throwing that
what's
out in
the
the media?
purpose of saying it? There's no purpose.
But on top of that, your franchise quarterback, you're just alienating him at this point.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean,
and
you don't say shit like that.
Your team sucks.
Yeah, why would he want to stick around?
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm Andrew Luck, is he in a negotiation year this coming year, or is he signed long term? I can't remember.
Idea.
I don't know. He's signed long term, but
Dude, if you're Andrew Luck, do you take the Peyton Manning route and look for a trade over to the Broncos?
I don't think the Broncos have
wouldn't be
enough
the worst
money,
idea in the world. Yeah, they already fucked their cap situation. They're
which
paying
is
for it.
hilarious. Good for them.
Well, they won a Super Bowl, so like one could argue that they got what they wanted, but this was a foreseeable consequence.
I mean, they could always do the thing where they just move some numbers around and pay some people, some bonuses later on instead of up front.
That's what they did, and now they're paying for it.
I know, but they could just do it again and totally fuck themselves for like the next 15 years.
That's a great idea.
I mean, but in the interim, you have Andrew Luck, who is actually a moderately competent quarterback. Better than...
But they already
Yeah,
have
but
an offensive line that can't protect
their
anybody.
defense is what is like won them the Super Bowl. So it's like at the same time you like that defense is who you need to pay.
Hold on. It's not like the Broncos, or it's not like Andrew Luck's not used to having an incompetent offensive line. So
Right, but they already have one, and then they'd have to like find a way to unload other pieces. It just wouldn't work. You can't always just like push shit off into the future. It's just like it's gonna come back and bite you in the ass.
This week's live pro tip brought to you by Chappers: don't procrastinate, folks. Get it done now.
Yeah, just wait. Like, just wait until the Cowboys have to give a contract to Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott. Yeah, they're already every year they push money into the future, and they keep doing it even though their 2-star players are making like rookie wage.
Right.
I mean, at that point, we're gonna probably see Des Bryant make his exit off the Cowboys squad.
Well, it wouldn't hurt him too much because
He'd be a great fit on the Bengals or the Raiders.
Yeah.
He would do wonders there.
Oh,
He would really thrive.
Oh my God! You just piqued my interest there with D. Carr tossing bombs to Des
when he's
Bryant.
not suspended or in jail. So like 6 weeks out of the NFL season.
It's
He's
true.
sweet. Definitely not the postseason. I'll tell you that much right now. He would definitely get suspended or be in jail for that.
Yeah. Speaking of people suspended and in jail, Zeke Elliott vows that he's going to keep fighting the good fight here.
Yeah.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
He claims he's not an abuser, and that's the only reason he keeps going with it. Do we see another injunction coming this week?
Yeah, that's why they've filed in like 50 different fucking courts at this point, because the facts of the case aren't... I don't know, and I don't care.
He's gonna get suspended.
Yeah,
It
like,
depends
let's
on
just...
when.
At this point, like, if I were him, I almost would just be like, just give me it now so I can play for the playoffs.
So, all right, interestingly enough, I was reading a legal blog last week, and it was actually a story on Zeke Elliott's situation, and they were saying that if they were his legal counsel at this point, they'd be telling him to take the suspension, sit it out so that he was actually available for the playoffs. And then if he pushes it off too far, they would take the strategy of arguing that his suspension was only good for the regular season, as the vocabulary in the suspension letter stated for regular season.
I would
games.
never do that as an attorney. Like, your job as legal counsel is to counsel your client regarding, like, if you think you can keep him out of it, if that's what he wants, then you have an ethical obligation to do that. So, like, I mean,
don't
if I were
disagree
his
with you.
agent or his manager or his publicist, I'd be like, you should just sit it the fuck out. If I were his lawyer, I wouldn't.
Well, and I don't disagree with you, but all right. So it's one of those legal blogs where they're trying to bring in like every fucking perspective.
Oh, okay.
So it wasn't like if I was I think I probably phrased that wrong. It wasn't that like if I was his legal counsel, I would advise him to sit out. But it was more of a like, hey, if I was in his situation,
Oh, totally.
and I was the people surrounding him, I would do this.
I get that.
So, but all right, last thing here. We talked a lot of Josh Gordon today, but he actually did hold his first press conference, and it apparently was moderately entertaining. I'll see if I can get a link and put it up on the post here for this.
Sweet.
All right, college football playoff rankings. We're gonna do this quick.
Yeah, top 4 didn't change. The rest of it's a complete shit show. Oklahoma stays at 5. And TCU, Oklahoma kind of decides what happens there. Otherwise, the top 4 didn't change. The rest of it's a shit show.
We've got number 1 Georgia, number 2 Alabama, number 3 Notre Dame. Why the fuck are they at number 3? Because
I don't know, man. They're pretty good.
Just go join a fucking conference, though, so we actually have faith in your schedule.
If they make the college football playoff, though, they won't do it. Yeah, but they make the college football playoff this year. It's way less incentive for them to join a conference.
Right,
because they can schedule who they want, so they schedule good football teams.
Right. So they did play Georgia second week of the season,
Lost by
and then
a point.
Yep. And then they did play Michigan State and get their ass whooped. They whooped ass. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah. I mean, and they have to play. There's the Catholic Convicts game coming up this weekend, so they do. I think they're contractually obligated, even though they're an independent. They have to play like 4 ACC games or something, and the rest of it, because of their independence, they also kick the shit out of USC. The rest of it, because of their independent status, they can schedule who they want. So they schedule their traditional game, their USC, and then they schedule good competition at the beginning of the season because they know even if they lose, it's not going to hurt them that much. Like, it's not a bad idea on their part to not join a conference.
I'm so tired of this shit though. Like,
but
just be.
I do too.
It's like
I do too. I hate Brian Kelly and I hate Notre Dame, but at the same time, you can't deny what they're doing, and it kind of makes sense.
Let's go, Convicts.
It's like when you have that friend that just won't join real life and be an adult, i.e. me, and you're like, dude, just go get a fucking job and be a real person. Like,
but you have a job.
I do. My job is school, but like, that's the way I look at Notre Dame. I'm like, just go get a job and be a real person. Join a goddamn conference.
See, I look at Notre Dame as like someone who's in school for investment banking, and they're gonna eventually make a lot of money, but they're acting like they're already making a lot of money. And they're just fucking assholes about it.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah. All right, so I would love to see a shakeup here and watch Miami win this game.
I want to see TCU beat Oklahoma as well.
And get, like, the ultimate shakeup here and watch Clemson move to 3, TCU move to 4, and then Miami move to, they're on the outside looking in at 5.
My aspirations are more selfish in that I really want another shot at Oklahoma, so I'd love if TCU was able to knock them off and Ohio State was able to win out, and I have a difficult time thinking that they wouldn't match Oklahoma and Ohio State up again in a bowl game.
That'd be a hell of a matchup.
Be kind of neat.
Yeah.
Although we suck, so who knows?
Right. I mean, that's all pending that Ohio State wins out because...
Yeah. And then we ruin it for the Big Ten, like, badly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that would mean we'd probably have to beat Wisconsin in the Big Ten championship game, and then if we beat them, there's no way a Big Ten team's going in the playoff. So, whatever.
Let's see, what do we have?
They did it to themselves, so...
We have SEC, Independent, ACC right now in the top 4. with the Big 12 on the outside looking in with the next 2 spots and another ACC team. Where's the Big 10 at all? I mean, Wisconsin at 8
10 through 14.
No, Wisconsin 8, Washington 9, Auburn 10,
and then it's Ohio State, Penn State, or it's Michigan State, Ohio State, Penn State, 12, 13, 14.
Yeah, I think you just said 10 through 14.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, 12 through 14. Yeah, I mean, Big 10, get your shit together. Let's do some shit.
I mostly want Ohio State to play a good ACC or Big 12 team at this point because, again, I tend to think that Big 10 competition is difficult, and it's not because the teams suck that they're losing to one another. So, whereas I think some of the competition in those other conferences is weaker, but we'll see. ACC mostly. Big 12's having a really good year.
Yeah. I think it's about that time, guys.
Yeah, I think so too.
All right, so game of the week, Chappers. What'd you say was the game of the week?
It is, and this is true, the only game in the NFL this week in which both teams have a winning record. And I bet you wouldn't guess in Week 10 that was going to be the Saints and the Bills.
Bills versus Saints or Saints versus Bills?
Saints versus Bills.
All right. And then Dumpsterfire of the week?
Oh, God, I see it.
Are you kidding me?
Giants-Niners, baby.
Giants-Niners.
Oh, my God, I hope the power goes out at the stadium.
Giants versus Niners.
Oh, man, that's going to be awesome. That's exciting.
Do we have a college game of the week?
I think Catholics versus Convicts.
Yeah.
Or TCU, Oklahoma. Take your pick.
Got to be Catholics versus Convicts. And you have to say Catholics or Convicts.
Yeah. I agree, you do.
All right. Chappers. Who are you taking for the game of the week?
I am going to take the Bills. And I hope that a dildo gets thrown on the field.
All right, Catman.
I am also taking the Bills because Bills Mafia.
Fuck. God damn it. I'm taking the Saints. I need points. I need points badly. Dumpsterfire of the week. Giants versus the Niners. Chappers. Who are you taking?
Well, last week I said the Niners might have their best chance to win. I'm wrong. This is their best chance to win. I'm going with the 49ers.
Yep.
We all got fucked by the Niners last week.
I'm taking the Niners. Yep.
Catman's taking the Niners.
The Giants are like they are imploding. It's like a slow moving train wreck, and it's only gonna get worse. And it's awesome.
All right, I'm actually gonna take the Giants just because I can't imagine they're gonna drop one to the fucking Niners.
Man. Can't wait till they do.
All right, NCAA Game of the Week.
Catholics Convicts.
I'm going with the Convicts.
Okay. Catman.
I'm also going with the Convicts.
You know what's really funny is I'm doing all this in the chat because I don't have a Google Drive document today, and somehow I've capitalized Convicts twice, the CO in Convicts twice, which makes me think correctional officer, and I'm just going to have to take the Convicts as well because I went opposite pit strategy on the first two. I'm going to go same pit strategy on the last one.
That's fair.
So with that, I think
the Catholics are going to win.
Probably.
Yeah.
They're good, man. I watched them last weekend. They're good.
Yeah, every time all three of us pick a team, like, they seem to lose.
I definitely should get on Bodog and put some money on the Catholics then.
I think it's going to be a nasty game, though. Like, I'm really excited. I think it's going to be a nasty game.
Like, with shanks or?
I think a lot of, I think there could be some shanking. I think there's going to be some really big hits. I would not be surprised to see some targeting-related ejections. I would actually go over-under like 2.
2 ejections?
Yeah. Miami's pissed, and they're good, and...
Can we put that one on the board, please?
Sure.
So is 2 a push?
Let's call it 1.5, huh?
Ooh.
That's better.
1.5. Over under 1.5 ejections. Chappers, you gonna take the over or the under?
What worries me is the targeting thing.
You like that?
But it's just ejections. It's not targeting. Well, if it's an ejection because of targeting, that's fine. But like, just regular targeting doesn't count without the ejection.
Yeah, but that's what I mean.
Right.
I'll take the under, and I don't feel good about it.
I'm taking the over.
Catman's taking the over.
They haven't actually both been good and hated each other in a long time.
Oh, I'm gonna take the under.
Like, oh man,
It really is a tough call, though. I think the 1.5 is.
that's gonna be so cool if it happens. I'm gonna be so excited that all those people are getting tossed. Toss that motherfucker.
We're literally gonna watch this game just to watch people.
Oh
get
my
tossed.
god, yeah. Oh god, yeah. What's he pulling out of his sock?
Is it a Sharpie or a shake? Oh man! All right. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about this. Where do we go from here? I think next week we'll have a pretty competent podcast.
Doubt it.
And yeah, I doubt it actually. I don't know what to say other than Chappers. What do you do at this moment?
Well, Josh Gordon, welcome back to the NFL. And you're sober, so you can't have it. But for the rest of us, sit back and watch the show and enjoy an ice cold Four
Smoke some DBs, Josh.